One of the most common questions is, what do I do when I'm first setting my small business up in GoHighLevel to make sure that I'm going to make my money back, that I'm covering my cost? And if you're an agency owner and you're setting up one of your small business clients, these are the first things you should do as well. So obviously, like, you might be setting this up for your own small business, or you might be setting this up for your clients. These are the first things that you should do either way to make sure that you're going to love the system and you're going to stay with it. So the first thing that you should consider when you're looking at, should I even start GoHighLevel, one of the things that makes it easiest to justify is using it to replace other things you are already paying for, or the client, the small business owner, is already paying for. So GoHighLevel has at least 42 different softwares that it can replace that you may already be paying for. And so I built this checklist called the 10K automation checklist. And this is great for you to go over with the business owner if you're onboarding them, or if you're a business owner, you can do this yourself. So you scroll down in this list here and you're gonna see the 42 types of software that GoHighLevel can replace. And this is the easiest way to start saving money out of the gate and make it a no-brainer. So obviously it can replace your CRM, it can do all your email marketing. Almost everybody's paying for Constant Contact or MailChimp or something. Your text tools, some people are paying for a software for that. Your appointment scheduling, you don't need Calendly anymore. Your website, you can replace, and you can build in here with an AI website builder easily. And it's free to host, so it's not going to cost any more than the $97 you're paying. If you have a WordPress website, you can even get my team or a good high-level designer to clone your exact website in the GoHighLevel builder. It's going to make it actually more compliant because there's no data getting leaked in the integrations for the apps or the widgets on the WordPress site, the plugins. And it's going to be cheaper to host. You don't have to pay anything besides GoHighLevel anymore. And you can replace, if you're using a social media tool like ManyChat, it can replace that. You don't necessarily need to have Zapier, Pabbly, or Make. You can do that all inside Workflow. It's not just still helpful to have it. It's easier to set up, but you may not need that. A lot of times people are using this software, paying for this, to connect other things that are inside GoHighLevel. And if that's the case and that's all you're using it for, you can use workflows to connect them just fine. You don't need any survey tools like Typeform. You don't need any review management platform. You don't need Google Forms, Jotform. That's all things that can be replaced. Most of these customer service tools can be replaced. There's this is not on here. There's an internal chat feature. So you can have your customers, all your communication for customers on WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, email, SMS, and web chat, all in one view, and then you click a little spot in the same screen and you can get your internal chat. Now that's going to replace Slack or Discord. Who's not paying for one of those if they have a company? You've got your memberships, so you don't need School or Kajabi. And what else? It can replace Shopify. If you already have a Shopify account and you're using it for e-com, then I would recommend staying with it. There's some advantages to using it for e-com. But you want to use that just for your website, and for everything else, all the messaging and follow-up, you still want to use GoHighLevel. It'll replace your document management software. It has the equivalent of DocuSign and PandaDoc in here. Project management is in here. It's more simplified than a Monday or a ClickUp, but in most businesses, that's all you need is what they have in here. You can replace... HubSpot, those are real kind of like CRMs, but you don't need any software for email or SMS or Mailgun or any of that. And I think that pretty much covers most of them. There's a lot that I didn't mention, I skipped over that are less common, but those are the main ones. And this software, if you're going direct to GoHighLevel, is only $97 a month. And what I recommend is, if you're migrating a software, to go over into, you can go to GoHighLevel Solutions portal. And I believe there's some migration guides right in here. Migration. Yes. There's 19 software migration guides in here you can use. And if you want to migrate something that's not in here, let me see if it has DocuSign. Wix, ClickFunnels, MailChimp, Squarespace. Yeah, so check this out. You can just open up ChatGPT. You can go new chat, say search. You want to make sure it's using the internet to do this. How do I migrate DocuSign into high levels. I know how to do this, so I'm going to tell you after we do the search, but I want to see how good this is going to be. High levels contract management tools. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you download the PDFs and you can upload the PDFs into HighLevel, and then you just place the fields on them. So it's really straightforward. You can also migrate ClickFunnels or School. They have like automations built in here to actually help you migrate those things. And for anything you're stuck on, guys, I was able to use ChatGPT back 2 years ago to teach me how to build an app, to create software, how to code, to create an app for HighLevel's app marketplace. And so that is far more advanced than doing what we're asking it to do here. So I'm going to let this go and we'll see what it says, but I know this works. And then if you are already migration out of the way, the next thing that you should do first, obviously you want to set up your SMS, email, and that's called A2P, get all that approved so you can do emails, texting, and calling through your HighLevel, obviously. But what's going to save you money and help the small business make money in the beginning, in that first 30 days, is set up a campaign that's going to reach back out to all their old customers. So we call this a reactivation or a database reactivation or a reactivation campaign. So all those things mean the same thing. And what it's going to involve is first getting, this is going to talk about how to do it. Yeah, you can do this. So that's going to give you direct instructions. You can just go back and forth and ask it the questions you need. You can give it screenshots. There's a lot of ways you can give the chat screenshots of what you're seeing in HighLevel if you need help. But what I was going to say next for the reactivation, you can just start with your CSV. So all of your records for any person who's ever given you their phone number and email. You're going to want to first break that up into categories, like people that just gave you their information, said you could reach out to them, or put their number somewhere in your system or email. And so people that just gave you their information, people that previously booked an appointment, people that showed up to an appointment and didn't close, and people that already closed. And you're going to break that into two categories: people that just signed up, and and people who signed up a while back and could be eligible for some, another service of yours, or maybe coming back for the same service. And you create message sequences that reach out to all of them. Now you can go in the workflow builder and say, I want to create a message sequence, and I'll show you how you do that. You go right here, you go to automations. Now this workflow builder, it will charge you like a little bit, maybe like $1 every time you ask it for help, unless you go unlimited AI employee. And I've got a ton of resources that I'll talk about quick here at the end that you can get for free if you sign up through my link. And let's start from scratch. So I can go right here to the workflow AI, and I can say, how do I create I want to create a messaging campaign that reaches out to my past clients who were interested in my business but didn't sign up, and my business is XYZ type of business, and I want to offer them XYZ, I want to get them to book an appointment for XYZ type of product. Or if you're a Shopify e-com store, you say, I want to reach out to them and ask them why they didn't purchase. Whatever it is, explain the scenario, and this is going to give you the step-by-steps of how you actually build that campaign, is what we call the workflow that sends the messages, in your system. And then you've got that list separated. You're just going to need to do a couple things. So you're going to upload it. And there are so many easy guides for how to upload contacts, so I'm really just going to tell you what to do. That's not the most valuable way that I can be helpful to you guys. You'll upload them, and then you're going to want to clean the list. So you're going to want to make sure that the phone numbers are valid and make sure that the emails are valid. And there's email verification and there's phone verification in here. So you'll do that, and then you'll be ready to run a campaign. Make sure you obviously bring over anyone who said, do not call. You want to make sure you don't reach back out to those people. But you can send out a text and an email sequence to each of those categories, and you are going to print tons of business. There's lots of ways. You should reach out to past clients like that very often, as often as you can. The way that I do it to maximize it is I do a free training. And so I do two things. I post two recorded videos like this, and I do 3 live events where I invite the public and all my past leads. And I say, today I'm doing a training on XYZ. And I know everybody, all my leads, they know what GoHighLevel is. And so every time I do a training, new people pop back into the meeting. And It's the same concept with these sequences you run out, and the more frequently you do them, the better. The more value you provide to those people, free value. That's a good way. It's a great thing to offer them something to help their business for free in order to get them back into your business. Now, any business who's doing this properly is getting 30% of their revenue from their old leads every month. And once you have a big enough database, you don't need to run ads anymore hardly. Referrals and past leads coming back in can make up a ton of revenue. Like I haven't run any new leads. I haven't got any leads in a few months, and I did over 10K MRR this week just from offering these events and getting referrals from past clients, those kinds of things. Another thing you can do really easily while you got this list segmented, you could build one campaign to reach out to your past customers who are happy for reviews. That'll boost you up in Google My Business, get you getting the phone ringing more right away. And those are my best tips for the first things that you should do when you start your GoHighLevel trial or when you're setting up a client in GoHighLevel. I have a bunch of bonuses. I'm just going to drop a link to this here in the chat. But if you go here, you can get that full list. So this is my masterclass with HighLevel, my guest speaking event on their platform. And you can watch the first 10 minutes. I cover what all the bonuses are. They're also right here. I'm not going to go into depth. You guys can come here and check them out if you want. And then while you're there, go ahead and grab that list of 42 tools. And I've also got this PDF that's going to help you get 50%. If you're paying somebody else to set your HighLevel up for you, and they're setting up the messaging systems, and they're setting up the website, this will tell you how to get 50%, a tax credit for 50% of your cost there. So guys, enjoy, pleasure, and I'll see you on the next one. Please subscribe.